Is it safe to like Path of Exile now? No. You're supposed to hate the game. Oh, I guess I can't show you the Poison Firestorm build I have going. Oh my god, this build's awesome. Poison Firestorm actually started as an Alchemist Mark build. I really wanted to take advantage of the new skill because while everyone's freaking out about Lightning Conduit and different kinds of lightning conduit, I want to play with the new Alchemist Mark skill, and boy oh boy do I think it's fun. Alchemist Mark is pretty simple to understand. When you mark an enemy, you consume a curse slot on the monster. They grant a negligible amount of flash charges every 3 seconds, but most importantly, you create a pool of damage based on how you hit them. The burning ground you create from this is not as high as you could make with other skills. However, the most important part, and the one we're scaling a lot, is the second layer of pool damage. If you look closely, you'll see them layered on top of each other. These are actually 2 separate pools of damage. One is Ignite, and one is Caustic Ground, based on the highest value poison on the enemy. But Gary, why are you using Firestorm and not something more efficient like Burning Arrow? There's actually a lot of reasons to use Firestorm in this build. The biggest one is that the first big meteor does a lot of increased ailment damage. Now with Alchemist Mark, that's especially important because all it cares about is the biggest single poison on the enemy. The big meteor doing a lot of poison damage is where the bulk of the damage of the build comes from. The little meteors that come afterwards are utility. The build is actually really easy to gear for. You have Volker's Guidance and you have Black Flame. Both of these are required for the build no matter what, but once you have them, the rest of the gear slots are just rares for you to boost damage and defenses, which I think is pretty darn tootin' cool. But Gary, what about defenses? Doesn't every build have to use the same defenses in order to be viable? Yes, we are using the same defenses as everyone else. We have Determination, Grace, and Purity of Elements. That means that we are not only ailment immune, we also have a lot of base defenses against white monsters. Now, this is an Eldritch Battery build, meaning you do have access to a Divine Blessing aura, and that's usually going to be Malevolence just for those big deeps. As you know, there is a Poison Mastery that says enemies take 300% increased poison damage if they're not already poisoned. What you may not know is that there is a medium cluster jewel that allows you to get something called Low Tolerance, which is the same thing that you can stack 5 times. All of this increased damage together means that you will be doing a sick, nasty amount of poison damage, not only on the single target poison, but also in the pool. Which justifies running this for single target bosses because you should, in theory, have a lot of damage over time, over an extended amount of time if you attach increased duration to the mark. But Gary, how are you having fun this league with everybody complaining? Yeah, I have a really hard time this league enjoying the game. It's really difficult with everybody on the Reddit just raging at Grinding Gear Games for what is unquestionably the best action RPG on the market. I don't know how people are so unforgiving of Grinding Gear Games and blaming Chris Wilson a lot for things he's probably not really responsible for. Correction, he is responsible for, but he's not really the one making the decisions here. He's just trusting his team. But people are just making threats, and it's just like, I just want to enjoy the game and just have fun. And it's so difficult with everybody being so negative that even with Build of the Week being posted, people are raging like it's no tomorrow, and I'm just so tired of this. I just want to play the game and have fun and make stupid builds. But you know what? It's just...